Good morning. Welcome back. You're still watching Daybreak on this 10th day of January 2022. My name is Sam Gituko, and I want to introduce the panel that we have so far in studio. On my right is Senator Isaac Mora, nominated senator. Good morning, Senator.
Good morning and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. It's been such a long time.
Yes.
Good to see you again.
Well, I've not been in this show, at least with you, and
right.
I'm happy to open the year with you.
Great. Welcome back. And the Honorable Gladys Boss from Uasin Gishu. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
How have you been?
Very well, thank you.
Great to see you after that very eventful weekend that was. We'll be talking about that later on.
Yes.
Like I told you, we'll shortly be joined by Senator Ledamo Lekina from Narok County. Here he is in the building, but also we'll be joined by Gladys Wanga from Homa Bay. They will be here to talk about different matters, including what will be happening tomorrow at the Senate. The political parties' amendment bill 2021 has moved from the National Assembly. Now the Senate will also be speaking about the IEBC election timelines and later about the strategies that different political parties and different presidential candidates are deploying in readiness for the general election, which is in exactly 211 days, or if you like, 7 months. But from today, it will be less than 7 months. But first, let's take a look at the stories making headlines of the two dailies. You'll see on the front page of the Daily Nation, Ruto's 6 gambles in a vote race. You will see that with the general election it's set for 9th of August, fast approaching, DP Ruto has made 6 huge make-or-break gambles in his journey to succeed his boss, President Kenyatta, that analysts warn could be his political Waterloo. Of course, the points are highlighted there, 6 of them, including what earlier was refusal to go into the August 9 poll as a coalition of parties, shunning regional kingpins with preference on first-time MPs, taking credit for Jubilee's successes and refusing to take blame for key failures, making himself sole campaigner, refusing to delegate, a pushback against tribal card in politics, instead fronting bottom-up economics as a unifier and focus on Mount Kenya without blessings of President Kenyatta. So they are saying this could be a blessing. It could make or break his race. I don't know what the panelists here think, but also you see the story of police detained Linturi in hate speech probe, and that's also the main story on the front page of the Standard. Linturi's loose tongue ignites political storm. Ruto ally questioned over controversial comment at Eldoret rally as Raila and governors criticized later over slur. So, of course, we're expecting that he could be arraigned this morning. He was taken back to Nakuru after spending the entire day traversing between Eldoret to Nakuru to Nairobi. Senator Isaac Mora, what are your thoughts about that main story on Ruto's 6 gambles in vote race? You see the points. Will they make or break, or what are the contextual realities that one must think of while looking at this?
Yeah, thank you, Sam. This is the man of the moment. You can see he's the one who is selling newspapers. Both the Standard and the Daily Nation, it's about him, about his allies, and what the deep state is doing to frustrate them. And of course...
What is the deep state doing?
Of course, by arresting Linturi on remarks that are not what he said, really. It's just twisted and convoluted, and I've been a victim of that. You know? We have had that with you, Sam, here. And so I know how it is. You twist and you use the mainstream media, you use social media, and whatever you say, even if you were to listen to what you say that you said, you can even wonder whether it came from your mouth, because it's already twisted to suit a preconceived narrative. But if you look at the 6 issues that are being addressed, for example, let me ask you, I mean, why would you want to focus on William Ruto if he's not the real thing? Why would you not want to, why would you highlight these 6 issues if he's not the candidate to beat? So I don't think I agree with them. There are points to note, because that's what maybe the political nemesis are seeing from their lenses, but that is not how we see ourselves, because we have a situation where we have 2 main candidates. One who represents the past and vitendawili, because people tell tales from the past, and one who represents the future. And that future, when you talk about working with first-term MPs, we have many who support the Deputy President who are not first-term members of Parliament. And we believe that that is the future, younger generation of people. In any case, that is supported by the demographics because our median age is actually 20 years. So the future is William Ruto. The present is what is now sponsoring all of these shenanigans because it's trying to balance between reminiscing the past and not accepting the reality of the future. So in that desperate mood, they are trying to create a mirage, an illusion. They are delusional about the current state of affairs. We are with William Ruto, and I don't think these are the real issues on the ground because it's some kind of subterfuge. You have to create a crisis that does not exist. Yeah.
Senator Mora, you've said a lot of things, including saying that the deep state, in this case, I bet you mean the government, is behind the woes that Senator Linturi is facing. Did you listen to what he said?
I was there.
Did anything concern you about what he said?
No, not at all. Not at all, because he was referring to people who do not support the deputy president from his region. It's like we were saying, we from Mount Kenya region, we are here. We are all, you know, in our numbers. How can you have people in your backyard who are not supporting the deputy president? And so he was telling the people who are present, please, you are the ones who determine who gets elected. So take note of them. That has been done by Raila Odinga when he was talking about his brother Oburu Oginga in Siaya being senator. He said hawataki kuona madoadoa huko. The other day Junet Mohammed was telling people in Kibra wafukuze watu wachome watu wa UDA. You know, let's not try to have a selective. Yes, it's on record. I mean, I can even play the video for you here.
Please find it for me and then share it with me.
I will do it on WhatsApp right now.
Great.
So let me finish this, Sam. So with that kind of uneven application, you can tell. And by the way, when we say deep state is not government, I mean, even us in the legislature. So it's some small cabal of people who are threatened by the eventuality of a route of presidency, are trying to create a crisis in order to further themselves. And they have now had a bogeyman called Raila Odinga, who they think can protect the interests. Let me tell you, Raila Odinga said that alipokuwa akienda Canaan, alipatana na mamba. But let me ask you, since when did he become the caretaker of the mambas? He's supposed to be the defender of the people.
All right, I'll get back to you, but Honorable Boss, this event happened, Senator Ledamo Lekina, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too. He came in quietly, but he's in studio. It's just to recognize that. And you're talking about what is in the papers, the Daily Nation and the Standard. And Honorable Boss, this event happened in your county. It was on Saturday, right? And Senator Linturi said a few things, including the term Madoadoa. I'm looking at what he has said on his Facebook account, that on further reflection and upon the advice of my colleagues, I regretfully concede that my choice of words was unfortunate. I therefore apologize unreservedly for the discomfort they may have created. So if the owner of those sentiments is already apologizing, what is this clamor that, I mean, this claim that he's actually being fought by the system?
Okay, just because you gave, give me a minute before I answer that, but because you gave Isaac a chance to mention about this route of 6 points, allow me just to refer to the 5 points. I'll just make reference to point number 5 and point number 6. On point number 5, they're saying pushback against tribal card in politics and instead fronting bottom-up economic model. I'd like to say, usually, a candidate who's for the people and by the people will usually be born out of economic forums. Hence the reason why UDA has been holding economic forums with people from different regions, as opposed to talking to tribal kingpins from various regions. So we are against the ethnic cards. We are saying that we want to start caucusing Kenyans around their economic interests, in order to promote their economy and better their lives. Because we are more concerned about Kenyans, the lives of Kenyans, as opposed to putting certain tribal kingpins into office. If you look at Azimio, Azimio is not born out of economic forums around people. Azimio is a boardroom project. It is a state project. Raila Odinga is actually captured by a few people from of business people. So that is what has happened.
Is that factual, your perception?
You can look at it. They first interviewed candidates in Safari Park instead of going to the people. They then went and had another meeting and said that they are going to decide who from them is going to be the front runner, and that they would come together in order to run into an election. I have not seen them once try and go to the public and convince the public that this is what we have in store for you. This is what we want to work for you. So we see a Raila candidacy that is already under capture even before he goes into office. Raila is a
Honorable Boss, we'll get back to that topic later
so no,
on.
I needed to clarify.
You're going to point number 6.
And then point number 6, they say Mount Kenya, he's focused on Mount Kenya without blessings of Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta has no authority, no shade of authority whatsoever to give anyone blessings. The blessings come from the people of Kenya who are the voters. So you go to the ground, let them give you their blessings. That epic rally that you saw in Uasin Gishu was a blessing. Those 10,000 people who stood for 6 hours to listen to the deputy president, and not just the deputy president. We had 70 MPs from all corners of Kenya, from northern Kenya, from the coast, from Turkana, from central Kenya, from every single part of Kenya. That was to show that that is the diversity that UDA is talking about. The diversity is not about having 5 tribal kingpins. That is not diversity. Diversity is when we can have people from every part of Kenya. So the rally, that is what we mean.
Okay, and now to the remarks of Senator Linturi, who has already apologized, but there's still this claim that what he calls the deep state is behind what is going on.
Yes, I was present. And I think what usually happens when you look at a speech, you also look at it in the context. What was being spoken about was, one, first of all, he was referring to the fact that we were persuading our supporters that, please, when you elect people, elect for us from MCA to the governor, all yellow, 6-piece suit. Yeah, let's not have any other color in it. So we're referring to the political party. Yes, that was clearly that was the message.
But the term Madoadoa in the history of what
yes, I think what is happening here is because he used that term and because it has a bad history, then they jumped on that to be able the NCIC. Let me just explain. It was on Saturday. By Saturday evening, he had received summons. I have never seen a state office that works on a Saturday. It just tells you they were waiting for just one slight word for them to be able to turn around this narrative against Linturi. Section 13 of the NCIC Act tries to protect against hate speech and discrimination. But what he was talking about was not hate speech and discrimination against any community or race at all. It had nothing to do with that. So they have actually it's faulty that the fact that they have gone for him. You must also remember our constitution and our international obligations require us to promote freedom of speech. So we have to balance that. And usually what should have happened is he should have been summoned to the NCIC offices, then asked what he was talking about, and then they would review the entire clip and realize he was talking about the political party and elections of people who are outside the party, but not about communities or people of any race. Okay. Because that is the only thing that would make it hate speech. And what would normally do is NCIC would be able to tell you, make an apology, or in future do not use that word, or something like that, and the story would end there. On this one, that is why I tell you I can see the hand of the state in it, is because immediately DPP is having him arrested. That means they've skipped the process of NCIC reviewing the clips and the meaning of his speech and gone directly to charging him. That's why he's been arrested. But let's put it this way. He's already been arrested. He's going to be charged. The court will determine what the context of his speech, because we do not also want to have a situation where we are allowing the Kieleweke side, who are losing and realize they don't have numbers, so they want to use propaganda. And I must point out, in fact, if there is anybody who is guilty of hate speech and trying to cause ethnic tension, are those people who have twisted Linturi's speech to mean otherwise.
All right.
Because they are trying to stir ethnic hatred.
All right, I hear you, Honorable
Yes.
Boss. Senator Olekina, as you reflect on what has transpired over the past few days, and of course, like I said, we're 7 months to the election, so it's sort of, we're starting. Do those remarks by Senator Linturi catch your attention? Are you concerned, or are we making too much out of so small?
Am I concerned? Of course I'm concerned. I'm concerned because almost 15 years ago, what transpired in Eldoret is something which should never happen again in this country. I do not want to sit in the high moral seat and critique what Linturi said or did, but during this time, we politicians, it behooves us to be very careful in the words that we utter, because when you go into a cosmopolitan area, and particularly an area which has got a history of political violence, you have to be very careful what you say. I witnessed things happening. I saw videos of people being beaten in that rally. So I think it behooves us as politicians for us to act as leaders, for us to be very careful in what we say, because I believe that every Kenyan has a right to live where they want to live, you know, and where they want to do business, because, you know, that is the spirit of our Constitution. So really, I will leave it to NCIC, I'll leave it to the DPP to be able to carry out investigation. Like I said, I don't want to sit in the moral high ground, because in the past I've said things which were construed as being insightful. So for me, I want to just urge my colleagues, Senator Linturi, you know, I'm happy that he has apologized. He has realized that what he said could be insightful, or could be termed as insightful, and could lead other people to be able to act in ways which are uncouth. So I really would just like to plead to all politicians, current sitting politicians, those who seek elective positions, to be very careful in what they say. We're in a very tumultuous time, and we have to be very careful, because an election period is a period where, instead of us politicians bringing people together and we share ideas, ideologies, you know, we go out there and all we do is to, you know, throw out negative words, you know, about our opponents. So really, my view on this matter is that we must be very careful. It is very insightful to use certain words, but I leave the definition of those words which are considered insightful to the relevant authorities who are qualified to do so.
Right. But Senator, before you exit from this conversation, you're a politician, I'm not. So you've addressed different podiums. What is this that happens when you're facing the crowd and speaking? What is the state of mind of a politician at that time?
I don't think it's so much about what you say. It's the spin that comes out of what you say. And there have been people who have been pushing narratives around the issue of dividing the Rift Valley along ethnic lines. So the Eldoret rally, they were just waiting for anything they can use. I have been a victim. Remember my remarks in Msambweni. They were twisted to the point that I was wondering whether actually what is being reported is what I said. And when you now can play that clip in sobriety, you see that was not the case. But because there are people who are stuck in their tracks, they are looking for a momentum, so they will hop on anything and then create a facade out of it, and then people, because people are not keen, they create some drama, you see, and then you take Linturi from Gigiri to DCI to Nakuru and back and have splash it on the media and make the story of the year. They were even saying about tomorrow.
Senator, you have not answered my question.
No, I'm answering. I'm answering your question, Sam. It is not what you say. It is what somebody wants to use out of what you said. I mean, is that not what is news? It's the spin.
Okay, what I'm asking is, when you get to the state of mind of a politician approaching a rally and you've planned the few points that you want to speak about, then eventually you say things and later on you reflect and say, maybe I shouldn't have said that. What happens between...
No. It is, the people may make you feel you should not have said that, because you always know what you want to say. There are, of course, some few gaffes that people can make because of the excitement of the crowds. But this is not the case for Linturi, I can tell you without a doubt.
Okay.
I sat there for those 6-7 hours. And I could hear exactly what was his... in fact, he even quoted the book of Psalms chapter 90 verses 10. And he said that, he was actually clarifying that we only have up to 80 years if you have the 70 and then the 10. After that, ni siku za mahangaiko. And he was trying to say that Kenya should not live like slaves, that they should liberate themselves. And for me, I think, Sam Gituku, that is the real bone of contention. Okay. Because of him trying to sanitize Kenya,
I ask you a very simple question. You say, you say more than I bargained for.
Allow me to say this.
I hope you're going to tell me what happens to a politician when you're approaching that.
Let me explain to you. This whole arrest of Linturi is to try and take away from the epic, successful rally that was in Uasin Gishu. They did not want the headlines to say that there was an amazing communication and an amazing rally. They did not want to say that that was a rally not only for the DP to receive blessings from the people of Uasin Gishu, but also the fact that he has the support of more than 70 MPs were present. He has the support of more. But they came from all regions of the country. In fact, the excitement for the people of Uasin Gishu, we didn't even from Uasin Gishu need to have a chance. We didn't want to talk. They wanted, the people were excited to say, wow, we have support from the coast. We have the support from Turkana, from West Pokot, from the South Rift, you know, from Kajiado, from Narok, from you know, northern Kenya. That was the excitement of the people of Uasin Gishu. Just to see that array of support that the deputy president had gave them comfort. So that was the story. The other story was that actually UDA is a true reflection of the face of Kenya. That was supposed to be the headline. So they decided, because I know they sit in boardrooms and plot this, so they decided that but when you people pick up from what people have done. So now all of you have forgotten about the successful rally and all the good things that was said there. There was a lot of preaching about peace. There was preaching about harmony. There's preaching, and you can see that there is supposed to be a twist. And I can confirm to you today, even as we are in Uasin Gishu, we know that there are certain public officials who are recently deployed in Uasin Gishu, and their job is to go and talk to different ethnic groups and tell them that you do not want a Ruto presidency. Luckily for them,
who are those officials?
Unfortunately, I can say the county commander of Uasin Gishu, the new one who's been deployed there. He had meetings with various communities, telling them that you're going to be in trouble if Ruto is a president. We know that for a fact.
Do you have evidence to support that?
Yes, because those people he met came to speak to us. Luckily for us in Uasin Gishu, there's been a lot of work since 2007 to peace meetings. A lot of cohesion initiatives have been going on. So there is such unity between the communities in Uasin Gishu. And then these people should not make it look like it's only the Kalenjins and the Kikuyus who live in Uasin Gishu. Believe me, in fact, the other communities put together are probably more than the Kalenjins in Uasin Gishu. We have the Kisis, we have the Luhyas.
You said something that
allow me to finish speaking, and I'm going to say this. So we know that, and I'm telling you this as a fact, and anybody can take me on. We then had meetings. Those people came and told us, this is what we are being told by the new county commissioner. We then told them, ignore him.
County commissioner, county commander?
County commissioner.
What's his name? His name or her name?
I'll tell you his name in a bit.
So who was he meeting?
He was meeting various communities and telling them you're going to be in trouble. We know that. And in fact, we have complained about it and we have actually told him about it. But we've held meetings with the various communities. We will have an opportunity when those people that he met and told those stories will speak up themselves and take them on.
Yes, Senator Olekina.
I think my colleague here is making a very dangerous statement, because I think we are now reducing our say to hearsay, because anyone can be able to fabricate any information about any person in authority. And I think the best thing to do is really, we should use this platform to be able to plead to our people, not to go back to what happened in 2007. Lest we forget that a lot of people were killed in Kiambaa Church, were burned down, you know, in Kiambaa Church in Eldoret. And when you talk about, when you utter certain words, you have to be very careful on what they connote. Not everyone will reason the way the three of us are reasoning here. And it is true, as politicians, we get carried away. Because we see crowds, it becomes a populist contest. We say things that maybe we will not be able to support. So So I think the best thing, when it comes to issues of incitements, when it comes to issue of us uttering words, we have to be extremely careful because we already have a history. You know, lest we forget the little children, the women who cried. You know, we know that what is happening all over the country. People are living, people are, people are not comfortable. And let me tell you something. One of my pet peeves is that we as politicians, we go there with our SUVs. There are people who have been sitting down there the whole day. My dear colleague has spoken about people who sat in that meeting for 6-7 hours.
Sat for 6 hours.
You know, they are border guys. They want to use their border to be able to make a living. There are people who depend on the 100 shillings that they'll get on that ride. But we politicians, we go, we take over their life, we sit there, and then what happens? After the 6 or 7 hours, we jump back into our helicopters, we jump back into our motor vehicles, you know, to be able to go. So I think we have to be very careful in what we say, because those people have sacrificed to come and hear what we have to tell them. So I think it behooves us to be careful. Let us sell our ideology. Let us try to come up with ideas where we defend. If you are defending bottom-up economics model, if I'm defending demand-side economics or whichever, trickle-down economics, let me be able to go out there and share that with the people. But I think even IEBC now has also got to be very strict on us, because the official campaign period does not begin until May 10th. So we have to be careful on what we go out there, because we are ruining lives. And I want to urge Kenyans out there not to take everything that we as politicians say. And I'm putting myself there as well, because at the spur of the moment, you want there to be the most popular person. But the truth, remains that Kenyans are suffering.
Okay.
Okay, Sam, I think he won't. I don't think.
I want us to take a break, but also, okay. Honorable Boss, there's something that you've said that I have no facts about, so I have to dissociate myself with those views.
No problem.
About the county commissioner of Uasin Gishu and the meetings that he has been holding. We have no facts about that. So that's the opinion of Uasin Gishu woman representative, Gladys Boss, and so she takes responsibility for that. We take a short break. When we come back, we'll be talking about the road to elections. We'll be looking at the timelines. Senator Olekina mentioned something there, including the start of the official campaigns. We'll be talking about that after the break. Stay tuned. Text in your views via 22422 or tweet us Citizen TV Kenya at